Hello YouTube, we're on the Real Programming channel. I'm his host, my name is Andrei. I greet you, welcome. This is our 12th lesson about HTML and JavaScript. We'll talk about bullet points of JavaScript and the DOM of final of this chapter. Okay, let's talk about it. Learning a language is a hard work and it requires you not only work your brain, but that you also rest your brain. So after this chapter take some well-needed downtime, have a treat on us, but before you go, check out the bullet points and do the crossword to make things really stick. We haven't figured out of the digital to analog conversion yet, so you'll need to supply your own real treats. Bullet points. Declare a JavaScript variable using var. Number, boolean and string are primitive types. Boolean values are true and false. Numbers can be integers or floating point numbers. And inassigned variables has the value undefinite. Undefinite and null are two different values. Undefinite means a variable hasn't been assigned a value. Null means the variable has the no value. Numerical boolean and string expressions resulted in a number, a boolean or string value, respectively. To repeat blocks of code, use a for or while loop. For loops and while loops can do the same thing. Use whichever one works best for the situation. To the end of for or while loop, the conditional test must be false at some point. Use if or else statements to make a decision based on a conditional test. Conditional tests are Boolean expressions. You can add a JavaScript to the head or body of your web page, or put it in a separate file and link it to it from your web page. Enclose your JavaScript or link to it using the script element. When the browser loads the web page, it creates a document object model DOM, which is internal representation of the web page. You make your web pages interactive by examining and changing the DOM using JavaScript. Get access to an element in your web page using document_getElementById. Document_getElementById uses the ID of an element to find the element in the DOM. Use the inner HTML property of an element to change the element's content. If you try to access or change elements before the web page has completely loaded, you'll get a web JavaScript error and your code don't work. Assign a function to the window load property to run to the code in the function after the browser has finished loading the web page. Use an array to store more than one value. To access a value in an array, use an index. An index is an integer number that is the position of the item in the array, starting at 0. The length property of an array tells you how many items are in the array. By combining loops and arrays, you can access each item of an array sequentially. Maths is a JavaScript library with several math-related functions in it. MathRandom returns a floating point numbers between 0 and 1, but never 1 precisely. MathFloor converts a floating point number to an integer by dropping all the digits after the decimal point. HTML cross. Time to work a different part of your brain with a crossword. Have fun! Answer will be in the end of this lesson. Okay, do you ready for exercise of solution of other exercises? Express yourself. You've seen different types of expression you can use in JavaScript. Now it's time to put the knowledge to work by evaluating some expressions yourself. Here is our solution. And sharpen your pencil solution. Based on what you know so far about JavaScript variables, expressions and statements, see if you can figure out which one of these are illegal and which might cause an error. From the following list, circle the statements that are legal. And don't forget, remember, you will find all the code and materials of this lesson under this video in the description link to Google Drive. Okay, more and is equal is greater than or equal to. Code color is not equal to pink, approximately. Math p gives you a value of p, you know 3.14. Know this kind of expression. And technically this one is legal, but the result results in a value you can't use. Illegal and illegal. Be the browser solution. Each of these JavaScript snippets on this page in separate piece of code. Your job is to play browsers and evaluate each snippet of code and answer. If you have a question about the result, write your answer to the question below the code. What count does the alert show? Each time to the loop, we are adding the value of ei2 count and is increasing. Also, we are not just adding the i2 count each time toad, but 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. The outer while loop runs 5 times and the inner for loop runs 3 times each time to the outer loops. So the total is 5 multiply 3 or 15. How many times do you see the alert top is spinning? Here is we're starting at 5 and looping until berries is 0, counting down each time instead of up. How many berries did you eat? And easy one, we just loop 10 times, so we eat 10 scoops. How many scoops of ice cream did you eat? Exercise solution next. Not this, this. Where is? Maybe this? Yes. So, okay. This is our solution. Take the code book and insert it into code below. Work out the while loop and write down in the alert sequences that occur. Here is our solution. Instead, inserted code. This happens once when scoops is 3. This also happens once when scoops is 10. And each of these happens once when scoops is 2, 1 or 0. And this happens whenever none of the other conditions is true. That is when scoops is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 and 4. We subtract I scoop each time to the loop. This is run after the loop is done. The alerts. Code magnet solution. A palindrome is a sentence that can be read the same way backwards and forwards. Here is the palindrome. You should see if the magnets are all in the right places. Leftover magnets. Be the browser solution. Here is the DOM. Next exercise. If you get the JavaScript working, this is what the web page will look like after you load the page. Here is the code that will make the playlist work. Feel free to substitute your favorite songs. The code above sets the content of these link elements by grabbing each element from the DOM and setting the inner HTML to the song name. Next exercise. Here we're creating a new array to hold the temperatures. Here as we're combining loops and arrays, notice how we're using as the index into the array. So we'll access each items and as an increase in each loop. And here we're creating is a string to use using the variables and the temp and our results. And for HTML cross solution. And chapter 3, events, handlers, and all that's just a little interaction. We'll talk about this in the next lesson. And here is our 12th lesson about HTML, JavaScript is over. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, please. Put likes, share with friends, and don't forget comment. And remember, meditate, do exercise more often, read more books and the topics, eat nuts, eat bananas, chocolates, drink more water for the brain. That's all. Thank you. Bye.